Hey again, I'm back. This time I am doing the True Black, also by Arthur Wang. Now, um, this deck was, like I said in my last video, when I did Ephemery, this deck was sent to me by my cousin with a link to it, and I was like, I gotta have it. But at the time, he had a special edition version, and I was like, I gotta have that one even more than the original one. So then when Infirmary came out, I brought this deck. So the back of the True Black deck looks like this. It's a matte black, but then the small designs have like a shiny black. Now with the limited edition one, I got it from, I think it was like the fifth anniversary. So the fifth anniversary one comes with this one, so it's like a really iridescent, like the design is um, iridescent. And then I got this little special card which tells me what number mine is. um, I love this deck. I love, like with if I'm right, the small details of this deck make this deck pop, make this deck what it is. Now unlike Ephemery or Ephemer, how you pronounce it, um, the True Black does follow the Fool's Journey, but for instance, it does have one extra card, and that is, which is part of the Major Arcana. It's Destiny. Now, for the most part, this deck is black, gray, and white, but again, it does have pops of color, and I think the black and the white and the grays make the color pop even more. Like, why is this card so beautiful? Why is this card so beautiful? And it's not even just the golds or the yellow tones that make it or that pop out. It's the red. Like, this is my favorite card because it's temperance and I'm a Sag. Look at that. It's just gorgeous. Um, Look at the devil card. Fucking gorgeous. But with the High Priestess card, if you can't tell, I'm trying to hold it to the light. It is the card. The card in itself is matte black, but there are small details that aren't matte, that are like some form of sheen. Now, I have to look up in the book, but I want to say that this is the Mariana Trench. Let me double check that. Yes, it is the Mariana Trench in this card, and it is just gorgeous. So in the guidebook, um, it does tell you the meaning. So it'll say, hold on, let me see. It'll have like some words at pop, like mystery, occult knowledge, subconscious intuition. So it gives you like a basic breakdown, but also it has the additional artwork where it does explain why the Mariana Trench is in this card, or other things within the Major Arcana. Now, I will say, I haven't used this deck that much because I've been using the um, limited edition one. This one I use solely for myself. Like, I've used it on a few people. Like, I've used it on my cousin, but it's rare that I use it for a client, because with this deck, like I told y'all in the first review, I don't like when my cards bend a certain way, and the limited edition ones, they bend no matter how I shuffle them or which way I shuffle them. They still bend in like this format. Like, hold on, let me see if I can show y'all. There we go. Like, it's slightly bent. I don't know if y'all can tell, but it drives me a little crazy. So it's very, very rare that I'll use them on other people, and it also just makes it really, really, when it's bent that way, it makes it really, really hard to shuffle. Like, again, with Ephemer or Ephemery, I like the cardstock that both the limited edition and the actual True Black deck is made out of, like the cardstock, it is solid. I also like ephemera. It makes me pay attention to the small details. So like if I were to pull the four of, I think these are wands. I want to say this is wands, or maybe it's swords. I'm not sure. So if I were to pull this, and I would, like, spirit would probably be telling me to pay attention to like the little streams going up, or the lotus's flowers, or something like that. Like, there is so much attention to detail with all three of these decks, but just like the traditional Rider-Waite, you can pull a card and your attention will be brought to something completely different every single time. I know when I was teaching the tarot class and how it is connected to not only the Kabbalah but also Christianity, every time I would study a card, I would be brought, like, my attention would be brought to something completely different that was going on in the background, or a small detail um, in a garb, or a headdress, or the way the person was sitting, or the facial expressions. So with all of these decks, but especially with the True Black deck, you will be studying this for forever. Like, there are small, like, when I pulled the High Priestess one time, I didn't even realize that the Mariana Trench was behind it. I was like, oh, that's just a really cool design. No, it's actually something that you're supposed to study and read about in the guidebook. Now, I did accidentally lose my guidebook to the special edition one, but I just used the traditional True Black one for that one, because they're technically the same deck. But again, I rarely use these for. I mainly just use these for myself. Like, look how, look, this is the just. Look how gorgeous this card is. It's gorgeous. I mainly use these decks for shadow work, or communication with yeah, mainly I use it for shadow work, or like if I'm doing like a daily spread for myself. Now, these cards are easy to shuffle, but again, I have small hands, so I can't shuffle them, and because they're made of cardstock, I can't really shuffle them this way, so I shuffle them the long ways. But yeah, that's my review for this deck, or these two decks. See y'all next time.